And I'm excited, my friends, because we have a band in studio, and they have been here before, at least one other time. But I'm going to let you guys, the gentlemen from Edgewise are here. And Chris, we'll start with you at the news desk. And if you can all just tell us who you are and what you do.
Chris, drums. Over here we have Demetrius, Jimmy Walker.
Hello,
on the
Matt.
bass.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, of course.
And then our glorious frontman, Mr. Chris Hallwig.
Well, hello, guys.
What's up?
And you're down a man. Who are we missing?
Yeah, the guitar player.
Ah,
So he lives a little bit further away, so his time travels are a bit slower than ours.
I see. No, that makes sense. So last time you guys were here, and by the way, thank you for the hat. For those of you watching online, so the guys brought me a hat. That's why I switched hats, this Edgewise hat, which is really cool. And I'll hold this up or if you're listening in your car, you can watch the Facebook video
Just
later.
imagine what it looks like.
It's it's a very cool shirt, which I will wear with
New
pride.
swag, nice and soft now.
This is very soft. Actually, it really is, now that you mention
Very
it.
sensual.
Very nice. Ooh, I like that. I like sensual clothing. I wonder if somebody somewhere has a clothing line called Sensual Clothing.
I'm sure somebody does.
Seems like they should. But very cool. Now, are these available? Are these just available at shows, or are you selling them? Or
Yep, they'll be actually going up. The hats and shirts will be going up tonight to buy online. You can get those at the Facebook shop.
Excellent.
And then, of course, at shows. So we have some shows coming up.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, and then I want to ask you about the new single. But yeah, what do you guys have coming up for shows?
So tomorrow we're first gig since the apocalypse.
Oh.
Basically.
Yeah.
We haven't played live since was it January of 2020 or
Yeah, it was right before the pandemic.
2019
2020.
December? We had a run of shows that we were doing really well, but we haven't played out since then. So this is our good warm-up gig with our friends Sepsis. They have friends Nailbite, Day to Attend, Jeff Richards, good friend of ours. So this is going to be up in Lebanon, Maine at Charlie's Hill or Charlie. I'm not sure how they say it, but it's fun. We haven't played up in Maine in a long time, so it's good to have some of our Seacoast friends. And Tony, our guitar player, he's from that area, so hopefully a lot of his friends will come down too.
Where in Maine is Lebanon? I
think it's just outside of York.
Oh, okay. So it's not that far.
Not too far up, yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Not too far from
Rochester.
yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so it's been that. Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned so the last time you guys were here, what's the name of the album with the is it All Things End?
Yes.
So I remember I can't remember. Were we already in the pandemic the last time you guys were here?
We predicted the future with that one.
Right, that's right. Yeah, I think that's remarkable. So, like, did one of you time travel or something, and you go back and say, hey, we should
All things.
we should yeah. So this will be so.
It was a bit of a bummer for us because we were that whole year we put that album out earlier in 2019, and it's we got a lot of traffic through it, and the shows went really well. We blew through a ton of merch and CDs and downloads and all that sort of stuff. So it was kind of a quote unquote rebirth again for us. So which was a lot of fun. And then we obviously got paused. So it kind of killed that cycle, which I know Chris is very upset about because he loves that album. But
Yeah. I remember playing a lot of it on the show because we played. Fallen is from that, right? Is Fallen from that?
No,
or is that...
Fallen's going to be on this album.
Oh, that's going to be on this album.
Yeah.
Oh, Fury. Is that the song I'm thinking of? Fury.
Correct.
I actually played at the opening of today's show, too. Yeah, I really like that track.
That's a great song.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but Fallen came out a while ago, right? But it's now included on the upcoming album, is that correct?
Yeah, it was originally just going to be a single to get us through the pandemic, basically. And then we were kind of in between deciding what we wanted to do guitar-wise, and then I had hooked up with, we talked about this with, got the keyboard player on there, Derek Sherinian.
Yes.
Which I know you're a Kiss fan. He's played on Kiss Alive 3, I believe, and Dream Theater and Yngwie and all those types of guys. So he listened to the track, said he liked it, put some keyboards down, and was like, great, we'll never be able to replicate this live, but but it's amazing.
When you play it live, do you is there an attempt to replicate it, or do you just not have that part?
We do it two ways. So we'll do it just without the keyboards, and the guitars kind of simulate some of the parts, and then we also have a backing track of the keyboards, which, it's not like dance music backing track, but we're just replicating his part and everything.
Is that hard using the backing track, because then you have to? I assume you play to a click if you got the backing track. So is that? Do you mind doing it that way, or
no? I don't mind at all, as long as it's just a level thing, hopefully live, and so it's because we're not Metallica, we don't have amazing sound at every gig, so that's the we try to have our sound guy, but
easy for me. I just follow the drums.
Right.
So all the
That's
pressure's
true.
on him.
Yeah. These guys are rocking out. I'm stressing out.
Right. Yeah. I've heard some drummers say they hate having to do that. Although, of course, there's some bands too that have to do that for for their entire show if they have a lot of effects or.
Yep.
In fact,
or if you synchronize, there's a lot of synchronization these days. I mean, we remember playing with the band Q a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Remember those guys?
I do.
They would always put an amazing show on, but everything was just so programmed. And I remember talking, I was friends with the guitar player, and it's just he put so much work in, hours and hours and hours per show. Even if they wanted to change up a song, so we're more live, loose rock, metal type of thing. So I don't want that kind of pressure right now. But one song is not a problem.
I remember booking Q for a couple of shows when I was promoting shows like at the old Uptown Tavern. And I remember there was a weird thing with them. This is going to sound so random, but there was a little bit of confusion at one point about if the band was called Q or if it was called This Is Q. Because some of their stuff, like some of their merch would say This Is Q. And
I think that was the album, the name of the album.
Is that what it was? Yeah. I just remember being confused by it. But I wonder what happened to, well, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? We don't realize how quick time goes. I'll tell you. I played a song from Stoic the other day on the show. I played, because Mike Zaker passed away, and he had been in Stoic originally. And I played a song from, Falling Into by Stoic. And I look at the year and I was like, oh my God, 2001. That's
crazy.
21 years ago.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You guys have been around for a while. How long has Edgewise been around?
Brand new band, like 1 year.
Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking about that. In 2 years, we could celebrate 25 years.
It's been even longer than I thought. Wow.
2000, the first album came out.
Oh, I'll be damned. But it hasn't been, how long has it been this lineup? If all three of you haven't all three been in the band this whole time, right?
4 years now, 3 years.
3, yeah.
3 years. Chris and I since late 2009.
Okay.
Ish.
Okay.
So we've been solid, and then Tony, guitar player's been him and I've been together since 2005. So
okay.
So the three of us pretty much been the core for the majority of it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I seem to remember now. Last time you were here, you were saying how many guitar players have you had in the band? I seem to remember talking about this with you guys last time, and it was
it's a problem.
It was a surprise. Well, you even asked me during the break. You were like, "Do you play guitar or bass?" I can't remember.
Really. Well, there was Keith, and then he went to Purge, and then Edgewise kind of separated for a little bit.
Yeah.
2005 to 2010 ish, and then Keith came back, and then he couldn't do it anymore. Then Tony moved over from bass to guitar.
Okay.
And then we brought it. We always wanted to be a 2-guitar band, so then we were trying to find a second guitarist. So really only 2 guitar players, but we've been trying to do the 2-guitar thing and add on.
Yeah.
From that point. So
yeah. So now with with Revenge, with the new album or with the new single rather, when is the album out?
October. So we have. We're going to do a show here in Manchester, October 21st.
Excellent.
Down at Angel City Music Hall.
Yeah.
And we're going to do an album release show then. So that'll be the big release of it all.
Oh, very good.
So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So you must be jonesing for this weekend to play out tomorrow. Huh?
Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we go in early. We're at 6:00. It's a weekend festival type thing.
Yeah.
But we're just looking forward to seeing friends and making noise in front of other people.
Oh yeah. And how about for you guys? Like, has it been tough not being able to? Because I don't like when I was active playing in bands. At any time that there was a space of time where we weren't doing shows, it was always, it was frustrating. It'd be Sorry, I can't really see you guys because the monitor's in the way, but
no worries. We can hear you.
but it was it's always awkward for me. But yeah, it was, it would always be super frustrating to not be able to play out. I mean, has it been hard for you guys, or you just kind of?
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to it. I mean, it's one thing to rehearse and
Yeah.
write, come up with new material.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all part of it. That's fun, but playing out is just, it's on another level. It's so much more fun. This morning I got up, and usually I'm kind of slow to get out of bed, but this morning I was like, I got out of the basement and pull my stage rig out.
Yeah,
Dust it off and set everything up. And
Yep.
so, there's this big stack of amplifier in my hallway. I'm like turning it up loud. Yeah, it still works. The whole house is shaking. Yeah, it still works.
How about you, Chris? Like, you don't have a rig necessarily to pull out, but or do you only sing during the show, or do you play anything?
No, I just sing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our passion. It's a spectator sport, so it's nice to be able to play live, to take a product and show it to other people. Obviously, and lots of different passions that people have don't necessarily require 4 or 5 people and a venue and an event, and you can grab your golf clubs and go pretend you're on the PGA.
Right.
You don't have to get a bunch of people involved, and you can, tell people you golfed a better game than you actually did. Nobody's going to know the difference.
Right.
But this, we're always, obviously the pandemic shut things down, but we're always arranging and building this product for how it will translate to, a listener.
Yeah.
Or somebody's into this type of music, and a lot of our stuff is on Spotify and other music platforms, and it's interesting to see what songs we think are hits that we really like, that give us that what I call the tickle.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it's exciting, and then to see what people actually listen to, and a lot of times that's not what we what we engage, and we're like, this is awesome, and then it's other songs that we didn't think were the the hits on the album. So that's cool, but that's all you can do is keep creating, and eventually with enough albums under your belt, you'll have a greatest hits album. So
Yeah, there you go.
that's what we're going for.
Yeah, the last time because I saw you guys, it was at Jewel, yes, with the LA Guns was the headliner, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Jenny and I went to see you guys, and it was a great set, a lot of energy. We didn't actually stay for LA Guns. We went for you guys, and then there were a couple other bands, I think. But how was LA Guns? Were they good?
They were. They actually
we didn't stay for them, so yeah.
probably held up better than Vince has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they sounded pretty spot on.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah. And they were pretty
nice.
chill, friendly guys.
Yeah, they were nice guys.
So I don't even know who's in the band at this point, because they're one of those bands where there's been like so many different iterations.
Yeah, I mean, you got Tracy Guns, which that's his thing.
It's pretty much
And then
him
the singer is the
singer,
singer that we know
Phil-
from the
Phil
videos.
Lewis.
Phil
Phil
Lewis, he's
yeah.
still in. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the core of the band then.
Pretty
That's
much
good.
the band, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. It seems so. Timing wise, that must have been pretty close to the pandemic, I think. So do you remember if you had a lot of shows after that, or was that?
Yeah, it was the last quarter of 2019.
That was November of 2019.
November.
Yeah. So that must have
We
been.
played a couple in December, and I think 1, maybe 2 more in January.
Okay.
And then we had something scheduled at give me Panucci's. Is that what it was?
Oh no, is that what it's called? Down here in the corner.
Oh,
Used to be
the 603, or
used to be the Brimmer. What is it called now? The Black Brimmer.
I think that's the 603, isn't it? 603
sure.
Bar and Grill.
Well, we had something scheduled then, and then
It was
that
called something different.
maybe March or something, and everything shut down. So
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
It was called something different until recently, right? It's hard to keep. So many places have come and gone over the years. It's wild, but yeah. So the new, how many tracks on the album?
9.
9. Okay. And why? And we've probably talked about this before, but it's something I'm always curious about, because we live in a time where you have so much flexibility in terms of whether you do an album or an EP or whatever. Like growing up, it was like, bands, they put out a full album. Once in a while, somebody might do an EP, but it's usually a full album, and then they and then they go out on tour and then, release a bunch of videos on MTV and whatnot. It was a lot different then. But, today with the internet, you can do whatever. You can do an album, you can do an EP, you can just put out singles. You can, there's so many different ways to do it. And there really is there's no rules anymore, really. So why do a full album? What went into that decision?
Originally, we were going to do, because we have the same conversations where a lot of artists will just do single, and then eventually they'll drop the album, and all those singles have run for a year, and then the album comes out. So Fallen was kind of the beginning of that, because that was kind of a newer song. But then we had, we weren't really able to get together in the studio, and then I was going through music as I do, and I go back like, oh, we got these batch of songs that we did like forever ago, which is not anything in the direction that we were thinking of going after All Things End.
Yeah.
But it's there, and we can do it remotely. So basically it's a lot of stuff Chris had riffed over, some riffs, some guitar parts very early on in the Edgewise days. So these are really a lot of old, older songs, older riffs, and I just kind of glued them together, and then we wrote some new lyrics to some of them, but a lot of the lyrics are from what Chris kind of put out there in 2007 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, Revenge was just a open mic jam in the studio.
Oh, really?
That we recorded that I just riffed over, and
oh, wow.
Like, oh, that's kind of cool. And we just, it's how you just keep developing and developing. So it's cool to listen back to that rough track to see where it went.
We'd keep revisiting. There was like 3 songs that we were like, oh, these are really cool, but it's really not. They're very I don't want to say pop rockish, but just more accessible rock songs.
Yeah.
And with All Things End, we were like, oh, let's go metal and all this sort of stuff. But so it didn't really have a place. And then we had these other songs. So we were thinking, we'll just do those 3, and then maybe throw Fallen on there for like an EP. And then I'm like, we got all these other riffs. And then I'm like, oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
Well, what was if we do this part for this one? And then I'm like, oh, we have actually vocals on this. That's weird. We don't even remember it. So we put them all together, and it came out. We had more, and then so Revenge wasn't even. There was no intent for that to even be any sort of release or single. We were just it's shaped in a couple other songs that we'll be putting out. Our newer versions of these songs.
Oh, okay.
It became pretty fun. It's just a different sound. It's a completely different sounding album. It's lower tuning. It's slower. It's just more groove, heavier rock, and there's no fast stuff on this album.
Really, yeah.
So it's just a lot of thick guitars, big, thick grind bass sound, big kick drum, stuff like that. So there's no...
Still needs more bass, actually.
More bass.
Well, as a bass player, I'll back you up on that. Yeah, a little more bass.
I know. But I get. I feel his eyes burning in the back of my head in the studio all the time.
Ever want to be a Newstead? Right? More bass.
This is your band.
I to this day I still can't even of course, for those who don't know, Jason Newsted from Metallica, was it Injustice for All where they took out the
which happens to be my holy grail, so that's the whole.
I can't to this day I don't understand. I mean, what they thought that was funny to do to him, like, I mean, but it's a huge like you said, the holy grail, like you can't argue with success. So I guess it was the right call, but it's still bizarre.
I think the thing was they were flying back and forth from Europe, and they were just doing the mixes, which they probably shouldn't have done. But so I think it was Lars and James just said good enough. They claimed it on ear fatigue. So who knows?
Yeah.
But you have the guitarist and you have the drummer mixing the album. So
yeah. Just
I still remember buying that, like when it first came out.
Yeah.
And buying it, on cassette.
Yeah.
And because when did it come out? It came out what, 87?
I bought the sheet music and transposed it.
But I remember bringing it home, and I was like, new Metallica, putting it on, and it starts, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong with my stereo? And like turning the bass up, and then putting my ear to the woofer, and I'm like, why is there no bass? And I thought something was wrong with my stereo.
Yeah.
But as a drummer, that kick drum sound caught my attention.
Really? Yeah.
And then that really transformed a lot of metal after that. Pantera, and you get all that clicky bass drum.
Yes.
Pretty much from that point on.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. See, I'd never thought of it that way.
That's part of the answer to your question, though. Why why full albums, because that's what we grew up on, was
Right.
waiting for, not this time where everything's available instantly.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I created something, here you go, up, and then on to the next thing. So we have this, we want to hold it, a tangible finished product. Here's an actual album.
Oh yeah.
Nobody may ever actually stick it in a CD player.
Right.
You can stream everything, but
Yeah.
that feeling of, a finished whole product, not
Mm-hmm.
just, I recorded some stuff and it's, it's on some digital hard drive somewhere. Or something.
Plus, we find a lot of people who are listening to our music are our peers, our age, or a little bit younger, a little bit older. So we're not trying to reach a 15-year-old kid,
Right.
20-year-old, or anything like that. So it's we're doing music how we like it
Mm-hmm.
when we grew up, and there's still a large audience that likes it that way as well.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not going to be discovered anytime soon to go on and headline the world, right? So, but there's a lot of people who like the Metallicas and
Mm-hmm.
Megadeths of the world and Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. So
And
locally, people, they come to our shows and they're like, oh, we don't see many bands like this. It's a lot of the screamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, that stuff's great too, but I think we just offer a decent alternative for that.
Yeah, but I don't think like listening to a song like Revenge, to me, I can imagine young people being into it. I don't like, to me, it doesn't sound like it's of any particular period. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like to me, it sounds current, but it also sounds like it could have come out early 2000s. You know what I mean? To me, it doesn't sound like it's of a particular period. So I don't think it's dated in that way. So I can see
Yeah,
it
it's a blend for
having
sure.
a wide audience
Mm-hmm.
and being successful in the active rock radio format.
Yep.
I
for sure.
think it's funny. I remember having a similar discussion with we had the guys from Chasing the Devil here recently, and have you heard the song "The Beautiful Nightmare," their debut single?
Yeah, they did a great job.
Oh, they did. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely
Seen Jay
love
in
it.
a while.
But it's that same thing where it's like, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't sound like it's from a particular time. It's just really good. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely.
And I think not chasing trends is always smart too, because if, you can try to chase something, but then it looks obvious that you're doing it, that you're chasing something. So it's just to be, do what you do, be authentic about it and not overthink it and just make great music. I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. It's because it's hard to not want to sound like somebody else.
Sure.
But I think we've done a pretty good job of. I mean, we use the same tools as most people, but ultimately, what it comes down to, it's Chris is the the voice and heart and soul of the sound, and then we just try to give him a good, solid foundation.
Yeah, I love the vocals on Revenge. It sounds very
Thank you.
the way you say it, like the way you say revenge, it sounds I assume there's some effect on there, right?
No.
There isn't. No,
It's just me layering the voice
because you said
several times.
the way you sing it. Okay, because the way you sing it, I mean, it sounds like you mean it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just cool. It's got a cool vibe.
He did mean it because there was some. I was gonna say
Ooh.
there was stuff going on,
Yeah.
Oh.
Typical
Really?
life stuff.
which we
at the
typically don't
time.
like to write about in the Edgewise world, but
Yeah.
it was it evoked that emotion, so we went with it on this occasion.
Yeah. No, it works. It works.
The whole art imitating life
Yeah.
imitating art type of thing. So yeah, so there's passion there. I was trying to kind of get my Jim Morrison type of deliver the vocal in such a way as it strikes a chord, but you're not you're not screaming it or super angry about it. It's just kind of in your head type of thought process that anybody goes through when they're obviously feeling something.
Yeah.
I won't name it because I don't know if there's copyright stuff, but I had seen a movie too that kind of inspired that feeling. When you're, it could be anything, a relationship, marriage, a relationship, with a job, an employer, any type of thing that you're just feeling like shit on, and then you're coming back around. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's why we're on a delay. I caught it. It's all good.
Got it. So
That's
and
all
then
right.
you come back around, and you get your chance to stand your ground.
Well, it's relatable. It's something everyone can relate to.
Yep.
So, so that's cool. If you're just joining us, we're talking with the guys from Edgewise. They've got a new album coming up in October. They've got a brand new single out called Revenge, which we've been talking about, which we've been featuring on the show too last a couple weeks now. And they've got a big show tomorrow in Lebanon, Maine.
Lebanon, Maine. Yes. Charlie's Hill.
Charlie's Hill.
Charlie's.
And who else is on that with you?
Sepsis is headlining the show.
Okay.
And Day to Attend and Nailbite, I think, is the other band. And if there's another one, I'm not sure.
It's a 3-day festival.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in my head, I'm trying to just go through the list of bands. Now I got to look it up.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it sounds like, and the weather's supposed to be great this weekend. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
Well,
So it's outdoors?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
well, because
But the drive up there would be nice.
That'll be a nice drive. Yeah.
it'll be
No.
a nice weekend to
No,
get
it's
out,
not.
to get out, and then go see bands.
We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
play
And then
outside
hang
a lot.
outside.
We always kind of had the feeling of outside is not just our feeling doesn't project. I know a lot of metal bands. I mean, we saw Lamb of God and Slayer and Testament outside at Bank Pavilion. And
Yeah, outside like that is different than what
yeah, I mean,
we
obviously
get.
it's a much bigger show, but I'm saying in terms of, metal is, darkness and lights,
Yeah.
It's like when you have that kind of outdoorsy feel, like you're camping.
It's like when you see a band at
Don't get me wrong. If anybody wants to invite
5
us to do
o'clock.
that, well,
Right, of
I'm
course.
there.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
backyard barbecues, I don't know if we translate very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And there's more that can go wrong with an outdoor show anyway, if you think about
right.
it. Yeah, no doubt. Sepsis, they've been on the show with us a bunch of times. And Nailbite, I haven't heard of. That's a cool name, though.
Yeah, I think they're from Chicago.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
I could be wrong, but I know they're not local.
Now, our friend EZG, Eric Gagnon, is in the chat room, and whenever we have a musical guest on, he has the same question that he asks everybody. So he wants me to ask you this question. Has Edgewise ever played in Canada?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet? Been close? Have you guys played up way up north?
All depends, I think, on the musical climate and
Laconia is far north.
Laconia, yeah. Well, there you go.
But I think Montreal, Toronto, like that would be totally cool.
Oh, yeah.
All depends on the audience, if there's a market for it.
Yeah.
There's a great scene up there, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then now Angel City Music Hall, that's I've been in there once. That's a really nice place. That's where the October show is.
Yes, October 21st.
And who else is on that?
Right now, Day to Attend is joining us, and we're going to talking to a couple other bands to fill out the lineup for that night.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be playing a pretty long set, so.
Yeah, I heard John Thomas is really doing a lot to try to help the scene, and because there's not as many places as there used to be.
No.
For original music. I mean, even before the pandemic, it seemed like there were a lot fewer places than there used to be for original music. And
yeah, especially for bands like us, where we have the old school lineup, front man. I got big drums going on and cabs, and everybody's like, "Oh, you don't need all those cabs. You can go direct." And I'm like, I get it, but it's also part of the experience.
Right.
Image. It looks
Yeah,
cool.
it looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's part of the image. I mean, and again, for that genre, if you're not going for that, then you can get different bands delivering their music different way. But
Yeah.
it's like I said, we're kind of, we know where we're going for it, so it's fun to do it that way, and I think that gets the most out of us to give to the crowd because we're having more fun doing it that way.
Has your approach to as a drummer over the years, like this band has, like you said, it's been around 25 years. Has your approach changed in terms of how much you bring for do you set up the same size kit that you did back when you started? Or?
Yeah, it's same but different.
Yeah.
I used to have the single kick with the cage, and even then that was overkill. But now I do the double kicks, but they're oversized.
Yeah.
It's more Black Sabbath looking. Not all.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Not all the toms, but I still have cymbals. But
So I've heard some drummers say over the years that it's like, they get to a point where it's like, oh, do I have to be lugging all this around? Is it really necessary? And of course, other drummers, the kit just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But I don't mind carrying it. I look at it as exercise at this point.
Yeah, there you go. And what can you tell me about the video? I was telling you guys off air. I really love the video for Revenge. It's for one thing, there's a lot of red light, and red's my favorite color, so that especially appealed to me. But it's a cool video, and it's kind of like conceptually, it's pretty basic, but it just looks so damn cool.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we shot it anamorphically, which is it's a different ratio. So
Okay.
it's very, very wide and not as tall for those who can see.
Yeah.
So that in itself gives it a cool look. And then we had a friend of ours who does a lot of great work in video production. He's helped us out on the power video and other video editing stuff. He does a great job. So it's the quality of it is really amazing to us. And we were gonna do a theme like basically write out a script and do that sort of thing. But we wanted to keep this one kind of just decided to keep it performance and just let the song go and just
we're going for that band feel because again, connected to our youth.
Yep.
You'd see imagery videos where you wouldn't maybe see the band at all, and that was cool. But you were always, really enamored with seeing the band and how they gelled together, and that feeling was definitely part of my youth and the inspiration of I got to play, I got to sing or play drums or guitar, whatever it was that you did. But the video just black and red, my favorite colors. So when we were talking about it, you said, "Oh, what if we just got a bunch of red lights and a dark space, and just did a jam video? How would that look? How cool would that be?" And it's simple, but it's a band video.
It was a mini kind of concept of Pantera's, I think it's 5 Minutes Alone video, where it's just shot in a basement. What looks like a basement. With like one light bulb. So it's like having that and then mix it with, the one video where they're just in a warehouse, just jamming. Those videos always kind of, as simple as they were, was like the band just looked like they were just playing with each other. And that's kind of, that's how we feel when we play. So it's kind of what we wanted to put out there.
Now, when you shoot something like that, how many takes how many times do you perform the song on
so
camera?
Many. That's and I get it all the time because I'm like, you can see it. I wish did my takes over, but probably most people feel that way. But I'm like listening to the music playing, and I'm like watching what Jim's doing with the camera, and I'm watching what Chris is doing. I'm like, oh, Chris is doing a great job, and Dee's doing a great job. Well, maybe he should change. And
he's very cerebral.
Yeah, I guess my brain's working way faster than. But meanwhile, I'm just sitting there. I look like Charlie Watts on the drum set. I'm like, whatever.
But is it like more than 10?
We shot all day. We set up in the. It
was a 12-hour
started setting
shoot
up in the morning and got everything going in. There's always, because again, we're not some huge band that has a whole production staff.
Right.
So we show up in the place that we got happened to put because it's a garage, but it's a utility area, and the garage door, I'd never seen it before. It wasn't solid. It had a bunch of clear fogged windows on it.
So
it's daytime, so the lights blasted, so that ruined our red light. So off to the store to get a tarp, and we gotta cover that. So immediately production problems, and you're managing it all yourself. So you're trying to go for that. This just happened. This whole thing, but I mean there had to be 30 times through that none of the footage was even used. And we did a couple of different things that, in your head you think, oh, that's going to look cool. But I said he mentioned Jim Dillon, who did the production and the editing and put the video together for us. He's tasked with make sure we look cool. You gotta find those shots that, that convey, the feeling that we're going for. So it's way more work, and I imagine any of the videos that we just mentioned, it's a ton of time to get all the footage and then somebody to sort through it and decide, these are the takes. Because I did a whole bunch of stuff with a green screen and we didn't really use much because we were going to go with that type of throw in some images.
Yeah.
We decided, we'll let whoever listens to it likes the song come up with their own ideas of what it's about to them instead of insinuating that this is the direction or this is what we're feeling in the music. But I mean, production, you're just go through it again, go through it again, go through it again. But nice these days with all the technology, the way we're able to film it, a drone.
Yep.
That's cool. All the different types of lights. But you get into that situation, it's not like, imagine if I said tomorrow you're going to take this whole studio, go somewhere else. You're a musician,
right?
So
right.
we're bringing this stuff. We're like, well, how are we gonna? Now we need to plug this in.
Yeah.
We need to hear this. Can we just hear
Right.
the track? So it's a little bit of work when you don't have people who have done it repetitively who just say, show up and we'll shoot you doing a video. You're doing it all yourself, just like gigging.
Yep.
Dragging all your equipment. But one of H's, we call him H.
Yes.
There's too many Chris's from our generation.
Yep.
I'm Chris, it's Chris. Everybody we know is Chris.
From any generation, really. Yeah. There's a lot of Chris's.
Yeah.
My name's less pronounceable, so I
H's H's statement that I always hear is we're just buying smiles.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. So it doesn't matter what your passion is. If you spend time, energy, money on it, it's just you're buying happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes us happy.
Now the gentleman, what was his name? The gentleman who filmed it,
Jim Dillon.
Jim Dillon. Does he do? Is that his specialty, doing music videos? Because he, certainly knows what he's doing.
He works in video production as a full-time career.
Okay.
Thing. So I mean, doing band specific, he'll do them for us, and but he does a variety of work for professional car companies and advertisement, colleges and stuff like that. So
is he local? Is he from here?
He's from Mass, but he's been in bands with us in the past. He's a musician as well. So
okay.
He's actually another one of our guitarists.
Yep.
Fill in.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he's part of the Edgewise family. He's filled in on shows with us. So it's I guess we kind of call it that because everybody who's been a part of Edgewise, there's never been not even really. There's never been any bad blood. So we've all jammed at different points in times. Mm-hmm. Keith, the original guitar player, he still comes over, and our kids are friends, and we'll do barbecues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mike, our bass player, we're best friends. So
that's good.
So it's cool. Just life happens, and some people can commit, and some people can't. So,
Yep. Absolutely.
So for whatever reason, I still commit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but big shout out to Jim and props for doing an excellent job on our video.
Oh yeah. Has he done other videos for you guys? Have you worked with him before on that?
Yeah, he shot the Power video that we did a couple albums ago, and we're actually going to be shooting another video next month for another song.
Oh, excellent. Kind of piggybacking on Easy G's question earlier about Canada, Melanie asks, what about Switzerland? Have you played there? And then she said, "I'm just kidding. No need to ask my silly question." But just in case, have you played in
willing
Switzerland?
to put us up?
We have not.
I got a passport. And get over there.
She has connections.
Well, she's in Vermont, so you'd probably have to go to Vermont,
which is like Switzerland.
And then, right, and
it is actually like Switzerland.
And then she'll figure out how to get you to Switzerland, perhaps. So
nothing,
Europe.
Nothing out of New England.
Yeah.
For us.
We always kind of joke with each other sometimes about, different countries. And I always thought like Europe, especially Eastern Europe, they seem to always have these huge, awesome metal festivals.
Yeah.
Like Wacken Open Air. I mean, I just think it would be just a huge market. It'd be great to go over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might be a little dicey traveling these days, but
yeah, these days it might be. No doubt.
Farther east you go.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. So you guys don't. So no plans to try to do like get on a big national tour or anything, or just kind of seeing where things go for now.
Yeah. No, none of that, because again, the internet, we can, bands can get the spread their music out so much. What album? I forget what it was. We released something, and then Holland, we got played on a couple of internet radio stations. And then
cool.
Ended up downloading the album like 400 something times.
Oh, no kidding.
Over that month. So it's like we got a ton of downloads because that song was doing well there. So it's, I'm sure other bands experience different pockets of success. So And they asked us, "Oh, you should come and play." I'm like, "Yeah, we should," but how do we do that?
Right, yeah. Easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, but if it's if I wouldn't say no to any offer, but I don't.
Yeah.
Realistically, we're not getting in any vans or buses.
Right.
Traveling around the world, so.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, it's so different from like I was saying before too. When we were growing up pre-internet, there was no, I mean, yeah, you might put something out, you might hear about some radio station in Europe that's playing you, but
right.
But you might not. You might be getting played on a. Well, actually, I guess in theory it could still be the case. You might be getting played somewhere and just never know. But now, yeah, you can reach people so easily with all of your music. Is everything that Edgewise has done is everything available online or?
Yep, everything. All the albums are up on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all the platforms.
Yeah, excellent. And when you play, so the show in Maine, are you doing a full set or is it contracted because there's so many?
Yeah, we got about half hour to 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be fun. We'll play 3 songs from the new album, and then the rest is older material. And then in October, when we play, the plan is to play the album from beginning to end.
Oh, really?
Which will probably never happen again. So we're going to try and film that as well. So that'll be nice to have. And do a second set of older material.
Very cool.
So that'll be cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
When you play, do you have stuff? Do you play material that goes all the way back to the beginning of the band? Or?
Yeah, we play a song called Puppet. That's we played that. We were talking about Uptown Tavern.
Yeah.
That used to go over huge up there. So that was from the 2000 release. So that's an old staple that everybody's.
Wow.
All of the Dean, anybody who's newer comes in is it's one of those that they have to learn and it's fun to play. And then we then Rebirth on. There was a batch of songs in like 2005 we don't ever touch.
Oh really? Yeah.
Maybe that's an archive thing I'll go back to at some point.
Yeah. It's interesting how too now, and I think we might have talked about this when you guys were here before, but in terms of the internet, it's easier than ever in some ways to put your music out there, but also as far as live shows, I know, and I don't know if you guys, I'm curious how you guys think of it, but some bands, usually with musicians who've been at it and active in the scene for a long time, I'm noticing that a lot of bands that do original music now are a little more focused on quality than they are quantity in terms of how many shows they're doing. Like when Chasing the Devil was here, for example, they had the show at Angel City Music Hall and they didn't have anything booked beyond that yet because they were kind of just taking their time with it. Whereas like I remember being in bands where it was just like every opportunity, every show we were grabbing. And there were other bands that, like K9, you guys remember K9?
Yep.
I'm sure everybody remembers K9. Like they were, that's not even who I was thinking of. Damn it. Who's the band I was thinking of? Like you guys are going to be able to read my mind. There's a band. There's a band that would play like everywhere,
Angry Hill.
No, that's not who I'm thinking of, but they're a good example. But anyway, there was one particular band that was like, they took oversaturation to an extreme. It was kind of bizarre. I can't remember. I can picture them, but I can't remember their name. Anyway, but I was in bands where, it was like we would grab every opportunity. And I feel like now there's, I don't know if the pandemic caused part of it, but I feel like everybody's just being a lot more careful about what they do. And I wonder if part of that is maybe because of the internet, because now when you play a show, you're competing with, it's easier to promote the show because you can promote it online, but you're also now competing with everything else going on online. You're playing a show somewhere, but you're competing with somebody's Twitch stream that's really popular, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so many other things to do than go to a show. So I wonder, how are you guys approaching it? Are you kind of approaching it like, maybe not do a ton of shows, but kind of be selective about what you're doing, or maybe that's always how you've approached it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on, you're 100% correct, because I think being around long enough, we've seen both sides of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the 90s, we'd play shows and bands. Again, Uptown would sell out, and we'd get paid like a cover band up there.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd play down in Lowell. We'd play at Bill's Bar in Boston, and we'd get paid a ton of money as an original band.
Yep.
Basically 2000. I mean, I know the internet was before that, but
yeah.
Kind of that line from there on for original bands, it's just kind of, if you're a local original band, I mean, you have some do well, but it wasn't, the clubs weren't packed.
Right.
With like just pre-filled people.
Yeah.
And then people would sing along to our songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then as an original band, it was just a lot more bigger bars. Chantilly's was always great, and they had a lot of national acts, and we'd play there, and it was just good, better venues, better experience. So I think that's the switch, and now everybody, there was no mystique to indie bands anymore. You could see everything online.
That's true too. That's a big change too. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to, starting with, the last album, but each show is just that we're going to try to make it a little bit more of an experience.
Yeah.
As much as we can as a local band without, a $1 billion budget. You see all the big bands, and their stage setups are amazing now.
Oh, yeah.
It's with the screens and the lighting that they're all doing, even in smaller clubs.
Yeah.
But they have to do that, I think, to draw people in. I mean, I think they're going to get a natural draw because they're just a known entity, but
especially have their name. I just saw Slipknot here in Manchester not too long ago, and amazing stage show to look at. But it's you could tell it's a brand, it's a business, and they have the name, and they have the longevity, and they're gonna keep the people coming. So that's great. That's not where we're at. So going off of what H is saying, it costs us money to play out. I have always considered myself a live singer. It's why I stay in it. For the love of the game. Not as much excited about recording and repetitive takes and all that. Just like that energy, that feeling of a live show at full volume. There's nothing like it. As soon as everything gets compressed and magnified and put under the microscope, it takes a lot of the glamour out of it. It's not as fun. But so it's a balance now with the internet. The internet is and all the platforms. It's a positive thing. He can promote us, push a button, pay to have our video popped up to anybody who's looking at something or listening to something that's in that type of genre, as opposed to packing up all our gear, driving really far away, setting it all and then saying, okay, we appealed to whatever 10 people that night, and that's something coming from what you're saying. You just play and I when I got into it, that's what we did in my teens and early 20s. That was, you just played all the time. And if you're an original band, whether you made a few bucks or didn't, that wasn't the point. It was exposure. But people didn't have it at their fingertips either. Talking about people coming and seeing it, because it was mysterious or it was special.
Right.
Now, not so much. So you have to just understand that that's the animal, and you can use it for how powerful it is to just hit some buttons and spend some money there and get exposure, not only locally but nationally and internationally, and that's super powerful. So whether or not we get in a van or a bus and drive up and down the coast, hitting small bars trying to touch somebody, or we're like, hey, we just got 400 hits on our video, and that was a lot less effort. So than all the stuff you'd have to do. So it's a balance. You want to keep that, because part of it, I feel, just seeing what's out there, whether they're our age bands, older, younger, whatever. I mean, that's part of the youthfulness of this type of music, or any type of music that has energy, is trying to stay in that youthful energy that drew you to it in the first place. That gives you the tickle.
So part of it too is kind of taking like what they've done in sports, which it's very analytic driven. So we can see. So the answer is, do we want to play a ton of shows or select shows? So it's select shows based off of where we can see we're drawing attention. So if we get a lot of views and hits and requests from the Worcester area, then we can target that area and go and put money into putting on a performance down there.
Yeah.
So if we're getting a lot of hits in Boston or Concord, so we can say, oh, a lot of people watching us in these areas, so that's a market we can, or an area that we can kind of target and go and just be smart about playing the show, and we can put a show on how we want, and we can maybe take the night over, make it our show, or hop on a bill or something like that, and know that those people are at least interested in our music. Whether they show up or not, who knows? But it's a little bit more of a calculated event planning.
Yeah, absolutely. What you said earlier too was interesting about the lack of mystique now with bands, because it's fun. Because when you said that too, it made me think, and I'd never really thought about this before, but even just with say individual members of bands, you could have a mystique, whereas now everybody's on social media. So if you're into a band, you can just with a few clicks learn not only about the band, but you can learn about the individual members. You can really
Right.
There's no opportunity for mystique at all, really.
No, it's the opposite. So it's those band members who are like super out there with everything.
Yeah.
Who do really well, like Nita Strauss, guitar. She's not Alice Cooper anymore, but she does an amazing job with her team of promoting her brand. And then you have guitarist for Kiko from Megadeth, who does everyday tour vlogs and stuff. And Portnoy he's on Dream Theater, but just different members. There's just some musicians who do it a lot more. Devin Townsend. I mean, there's just a lot of those people who are out there all the time, but that's a lot of work.
Oh yeah,
So it's to create content all the time, but if they're on tour, it's a little easier because they can say, "Hey, whatever city," and "Hello, Cleveland" type of thing. But,
yeah. I appreciate the Spinal Tap reference. It's my favorite. It's my favorite movie.
Great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Matt, it's interesting what you said about like mystique.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Because now, like you could just Google, where do these people, are they married? Do they have kids?
Right.
What's their estimated net worth? Like you're right. Like, there's like no stone unturned. I find for me the only band that I feel like still has any real mystique like that is Tool.
Yeah,
because I feel like I love Tool, right? And I go on and not that I'm trying to find out, are they married? What's their zodiac sign? I could care.
Where's this going?
he's hot.
but there's still like that mystique about them.
Yeah,
which I know, and I have no idea like firsthand, but it seems like they really work at keeping that mystique.
Yeah, they've
like, let's focus on the
as much
music,
as possible, right?
As much as possible, right?
But at the same time, if Tool had broken 20 years later than they did, would it be completely different, or even 10 years later in terms of being able to guard that mystique?
Right.
If you take them because when did they, early 2000s? Or no, before that,
90s,
right?
Early 90s.
Early 90s. Wow.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I mean, if they came out after 2000, I don't think they would have done well.
Yeah.
Songs are too long. It takes too much thought to listen to them.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Wow, early 90s. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying that nobody puts thought in, but it just in terms of radio, like they don't.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And they were in the right time. But certainly too, even if it had been after 2000, they wouldn't have been able to maintain that mystique, it just, or at least 2010, certainly, if all other things being equal, just people would want to know. It's funny. I've even thought about it with, my favorite band is Kiss, but there's no way they could pull off what they did in the 70s today, with the makeup and concealing their identities.
It'd be so hard.
It'd be impossible. Yeah. It'd be impossible.
Somebody just have to throw a blanket on them right after they get off the stage,
right,
just into a trailer or something.
Right.
I still remember when they took the makeup off. I think, what was it? Like I think it was 2020 or something. It was
not 2020.
83.
No, I apologize. I meant the TV show 2020. Now I'm dating myself.
Okay, I was very confused.
Nobody even got it. 2020 like the year.
I was flipping through the TV guide.
Yeah.
I guess.
Flipping through the TV guide.
Where's my program?
Where's my program? But yeah, that, like you said, they could do that back then.
Yeah.
When they took off their makeup, it was this like big to do.
Right.
And it was a prime time, like Thursday or Friday night event.
It was on MTV. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
JJ Jackson hosted it.
Then
Yep.
you saw them. You're like, now put the makeup back on.
Put it back on.
Put it back on.
Yeah,
I
but
like the
one channel
mystery.
to funnel everybody in to watch it, right?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
wasn't like there's somebody in Thailand got the first glimpse because they were up at that time or something.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well, we are almost out of time, guys. This has been wonderful. I'm so glad to have you here, and I'm really I'm excited about the for all you've got going on. I love the single.
We have a video shoot next month, so watch
Good.
for another single coming out for a song called Stone,
Okay.
which will be on the album, and
We have lots of merch available. New shirts.
the merch is going to go up
Yeah.
For
tonight. So if you're
Promotion.
interested for a hat, some shirts,
CDs, stuff from the
CDs,
the
posts
last
/
album, All
coasters.
Things End,
I was
which
looking
is
at
one
your
of my
record play
personal
over here.
favorites.
We're gonna try to do this on vinyl as
We're
well,
gonna do vinyl, yeah.
Yeah. Are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Sure.
Good. Yeah.
in purple.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, for those of you watching online, by the way, thank you again, guys, for the hat. Got the Edgewise hat, and let me, so the camera gets it too, this wonderful shirt. Very cool. And it is very soft.
Yeah.
So appreciate it very much, guys.
Already more
Thank you.
popular with the ladies because it's
There you
From the
go.
sensual
the
collection.
gas mask guy on All
Wait,
Things End is.
we flipped the script here.
So we flipped over.
Yeah,
again.
yeah. There you go. I still wear the other shirt too, the gas mask shirt. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Actually, I have two of those because I have one from when you guys brought me one for the interview, and then we got another one at the show.
Nice.
So which was even they were a little different though, but
Yeah, we'll get black ones and colored ones. I
yeah.
think.
But very cool, very cool. Edgewise, guys, thank you again so
Thank
much.
you. Thanks
This
for
is-
having us.
This has been wonderful. Oh, and you guys are going to be back in October, right? I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I think
before the show.
it might be cool. We'll come up and bring some guitars.
Yes.
We'll jam out.
I love it. Okay, excellent.